sort of critique I've heard speaking to public relations people about the storm and the criticism that's been levied at you since then was that the response from your office seemed flippant at times. Your spokesman said the sky's not falling and the world isn't going to come to an end, and it showed a lack of compassion to people who were still snowed into their houses and couldn't get to the store. Could you respond to that?
You know, I would agree with what my spokesman said. The world did not come to an end. It didn't. People were inconvenienced for a few days, and I understand their frustration. But I don't run this government based on what PR consultants say. PR consultants are paid by other people to tell them what to say. I say what I think. I don't need a PR consultant. So,
would you have told that to someone who was trapped in their house?
I would have told them, listen, we're doing the best we can. That's what I would have told them. We're doing the best we can for you. That's what we're doing. You can't do anything more than the best you can. And when you look at the record here, that by Tuesday afternoon, 95% of the state roads were cleared, that's our responsibility. Now, if someone stowed into their house, unless they live on a state highway, that's not our responsibility, Ginger. So perhaps you, for whatever PR consultant was talking to you about whatever town that person was referring to in their complaint, perhaps they should go and see the mayor in that town as to why they were still stowed in their house. But unless they live on a state highway, it's not the state's responsibility, especially when we had no municipalities coming forward and asking us for additional help. You know, we can't be mind readers here. So we're happy to take responsibility for the things that we can do better. It may be that we could have done better in Monmouth County, but I can't tell you that right now. I'm being told that we had every piece of equipment we could possibly have put here, given all the other strains that we had on the state system, to be able to do it and do it as quickly as possible. But in the end, we're going to do a post-mortem, and we may conclude that there's certain things we'll do differently next time. If there are, we're certainly going to let the public know about that, because we're going to let them know what the results of the post-mortem were. But I can't, I haven't for a year, and I'm not going to for the rest of the time be worried about what PR consultants are telling reporters. I think it's just, you know, this is the kind of like make-work stuff that gets put into the paper about what PR consultants think about what Mike Driniak says. Mike Driniak can be flippant most of the time. I've known him for 9 years. He's frequently flippant. And all of you know that. That's one of his charms. But at the end of the day, we said to people, this is not the end of the world. And the harping and clamoring made it seem like it was the end of the world. It was a bad storm. It was the 5th worst storm in the last 100 years. But it was not the end of the world. I'll stand by Mike's statement. I support him on that.
The criticism for you has not been that you didn't plow the road fast enough. It's been that you weren't in the state being a leader. And you've addressed the plowing of the roads, but how would you address the criticism that you weren't acting in a leader capacity for the public?
I disagree with it. Every one of these people is up here because I've led. He wouldn't be in the cabinet. He wouldn't be in the cabinet if I hadn't led and won. And he probably wouldn't have taken the job if I wasn't the governor. He's leading because I've asked him to stay on at the state police and leading. The senior staff standing in the back who did such a great job are here because I'm leading. You know, listen, there are 2 ways you can decide to lead. You know, you can decide to be a showboat, hop on a plow, you know, and act like, you know, you're doing something, or you can actually put leadership skills to work that put competent people with good character in important positions so that when crises come, they're dealt with effectively. That's leadership. If people are looking for somebody who's just going to showboat and get on the back of a plow, sorry, not my style. I didn't do it in the earlier storms when I was in the state. And I'm not doing it now. It's not who I am. I'm about doing things that get things done. And all these other criticisms are just really silly.
Governor,